Welcome to Let's Talk Brock.
Welcome to this episode of the Let's Talk Brock podcast. Today we're joined by Madelyn, a second-year student in the sports management program from Keswick, Ontario. Right away in her first year, Madelyn got involved in the Sports Management Council to help plan events and co-host podcasts. She's also a member of the Brock Leaders Citizenship Society, where she had volunteered while being a leader in the community. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, we're just excited to hear from you. So we'll hop right into it. What made you choose Brock, and how did you decide on sports management?
Yeah, I think I chose Brock because it was the perfect size for me. I love the feel, I love the atmosphere on campus, and I had heard nothing but great things from my friends and my family. And then specific to the sport management program, I attended a sports-focused high school in York Region called Bill Carruthers Secondary School. And I think there I really learned to love being around like-minded people. So choosing the sport management program, I thought that was the perfect fit for me because we're all going to have a little bit of the same interests. So I thought that would just be the awesome way to combine sport and business, and just always be around people who share the same interests as me. So that's why I chose Brock and the sport management program.
Yeah, that's really great. So what are your current career goals within the sports industry? Has the program impacted this?
Yeah, I think currently, being in my first year, I still don't know what I want to do after this. But definitely, I just wanted to try to get as much experience as possible. And one of the best things I've ever been taught is don't ever say no to an opportunity. And that's something I really try to carry with me in every decision that I make. So even the simplest things like being here on the podcast today, it's going to help further my knowledge, and maybe make me look like a better sports industry professional or something like that. So always just saying yes to opportunities and learning something new.
Yeah, that's great. Taking advantage of every opportunity. Great advice. We began studying at Brock online with COVID. Tell us a little bit about that experience, and how did your typical week look in regards to all your courses?
Yeah, so for my first year, I actually lived with my sister down the street because she's 7 years older than me. So it was a little bit of independence, but not quite living on residence yet. I think it really helped that she had a full-time job, so she got up every day and went to sit at her desk, and I got up and did exactly the same thing. So between Monday and Wednesday, I kind of got all of my weekly materials done, and then on Thursday and Friday, I normally tried to work on other assignments or projects that I had to complete. So I think within the first week or two of each term, that was probably the most stressful time because I was trying to figure out when things needed to be due each week and what schedule to get on. And then once I found a groove, I kind of just got it done, and it worked out really well.
Yeah, that's great. Sounds like you are very organized. So that's great advice as well. What are you looking forward to most as you enter second year and continue your studies at Brock?
Yeah, I think honestly the biggest thing for me is just being on campus, maybe meeting some familiar faces that I've seen on Zoom or Microsoft Teams all year. But I'm really just excited to meet some people, be on campus, and learn about campus, like walk through the halls, go to the library because I've never been up there. But yeah, really just being there is what I'm excited for.
Having that in-person university experience. I'm excited for you to have that.
Yeah.
Let's talk more about your online experience this year. So you were a part of SPEMA Council. What is that? What was your involvement in that so far as well?
Yeah, so the Sport Management Council is a student-run club that provides events and other services that are beneficial for all students, especially sport management ones. And in my first year, I was a first-year representative, which I really encourage you to apply for if you are a first-year sport management student and love to be involved. And this role kind of just gave me the opportunity to learn about council and learn about what opportunities they had for us. So, for example, there's merchandise, the podcast, social media, the events team. There's lots of stuff going on, so there's something for everybody. And then this year, actually going into second year, I'm going to be the podcast administrator. So I've kind of learned lots about council and how it runs, and I'm excited to continue my work with them. And if you want to give us a follow on Instagram, you can find us at SPIMA_council, and you can find all of our stuff there.
Yeah, that's amazing. Students can write that down, check you guys out, and that's amazing with the podcast. This is old hat to you. You know exactly what's going on. That's great. So yeah, definitely everyone go check that out. With that though, congratulations being a member of the BLCS. Can you tell our listeners what that is and what your involvement is?
Yeah, for sure. So thank you. BLCS is the Brock Leaders Citizenship Society. And this is an award bursary program that's given out to entering secondary school students who achieved exceptional academic success, outstanding leadership, and community involvement within their high school years. So I was involved with them this year, and really it consisted of a few meetings, I think about once a month, and then usually there's two big events that they host, and one of them is usually a ball hockey tournament, but obviously that couldn't go on this year, so we turned it into a wellness videos initiative. So there I was able to create 2 videos to hopefully give people a laugh or test their knowledge. I did one on Toronto Maple Leafs trivia. But yeah, it was just a great way to make some videos for people who are at home, who were maybe getting a little bit bored. But it's a great way to make friends, continue to be involved at university, and continue being the student leader that you are.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you would recommend this to incoming students?
Absolutely, yeah. And it's also a bursary program. So not that that's what should I guess, encourage you to go do it, but it's definitely a perk of the program or of the club. So not only are you going to make friends, you're going to get involved and you're going to continue volunteering, you're also going to get some money for it to help you continue in your education.
Yeah, that's amazing. Do you plan on getting involved in other extracurriculars like sports or on-campus jobs, maybe your CWC when you're back on campus?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm really looking forward to intramurals because I've played sports my whole life. So hopefully I can get involved with one of those. And I'm really hopeful to begin my on-campus job in the fall, if that's obviously safe to do so. And then, yeah, as you mentioned, this year I started to complete the CWC, which is the campus-wide co-curriculum. And for anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's basically 10 domains that each are comprised of different events and experiential learning opportunities for students to make the most of their Brock experience. So I'm going to try to get some of those done during the summer maybe, and just continue to look at that throughout the year to really enhance my Brock experience.
Yeah, that's super cool. Describe one of the financial supports that you had sought out as a student, or if there's more, let us know how that happened for you or how that worked.
Yeah, so some of the financial support that I received for post-secondary was through my community. There were 3 different ways that I was able to get some scholarships in my community. One was a public speaking competition, one was a leadership opportunity, and one was just like a free written essay one, like a short essay. So definitely for the incoming students, that's very important. So take every opportunity that you can get. And then as well, I've always had part-time jobs and summer jobs. So just make sure you take all the resources that you can, because anything that you can get to help you in your university experience will definitely help.
Yeah, that's great advice. Thank you for that. But finally, what do you wish someone had told you in high school to prepare you for post-secondary?
Yeah, I think for me, I was a very diligent student in high school. I got good grades. I was involved. I was well liked, and I thought that was all going to stop, but it doesn't. And I've heard that university is going to be harder than high school, but it's also going to be one of your best times, and you're never going to forget it. So I think one thing I wished someone told me is that you can still succeed and you can still be involved in university. And in the end, every experience is going to be what you make of it. So never stop shooting for the stars and just keep being you.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I'm so encouraged by your story for first year getting involved, even with if it being virtual. So for all our incoming students, there's so many opportunities. Take Madelyn's story as an example. But thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your Brock experience with us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. If you have any questions, you can contact us by email at futurestudent@brocku.ca.